What is up, internet? I'd like to welcome everyone back to the channel for another FPS testing video. Today, we are going to be retouching the brand new pistol that has entered the live build of Star Citizen 4.21, which is the Laser Pulse Energy Pistol. Now, previously I touched this thing during its first iteration, and it was a little buggy here or there. Things weren't working completely. There was no visual effects for its shooting, the attachments weren't attaching properly, and it just overall wasn't a great time to handle. It was powerful, but a little difficult to get used to. But now we're in the live build with this thing, and it is time to run it back to see how well this thing handles, since this pistol is pretty much feature complete. It's still a little buggy when it comes to the laser pointers, but other than that, it is ready to rip and go. And of course, all of you guys already know where I'm about to throw down at. That is going to be Checkmate Station's contested zones. But before we begin, I have a warning for those who get motion sickness. In this video, I will be utilizing my Tobii Eye Tracker 5 to give myself a greater awareness of my surroundings. Other than that, let's jump right in. So one of the very first things I've noticed about this firearm is the change in its recoil. It definitely has a lot more recoil than its first iteration when it was in the PTU. Now, when it comes to fighting heavy armored players, this pistol is a little lackluster. It feels like the punches are connecting, but more or less just tickling my enemies. Now, when it does come to PvE combat, this thing does slap, but it does feel a little weaker than what it was when it was in the PTU, so it probably did catch a small nerf. Although it's still strong, it's just maybe not as viable as some of the other pistols in the game. Am I the only one who is finding satisfaction when you kill an NPC and they go ragdoll flying into orbit? I think it's just me. I'm having great fun whenever that happens. In the previous video when I covered the Pulse Energy pistol, a lot of you left comments stating that this thing is a good contender to compare with the Arclight pistol. But in my opinion, after playing with the Pulse for an extended period of time, all I gotta say is that it does not come anywhere close to the Arclight. The Arclight is just on a whole nother level, a tier on its own versus the Pulse. It's far more accurate and it deals incredible damage real quick and fast, versus the Pulse, which has this wind-up effect which can really slow down your TTK.
occupied.
So I do believe the Pulse actually caught a nerf while it was in its testing phases in the PTU, and it's kind of sad because the pistol at first did feel really good. It felt like it was in the right place. It didn't feel like it was too powerful or too weak. It was comparable to the Arclight back on the PTU and a couple other pistols as well. In my opinion, I would say that top 3 pistols would be the Arclight, the Coda, and the LH pistols. This one would sit right under my top 3 and everything else would come afterwards. It's still cool, it's really unique, and it's a lot of fun. This pistol does require a little bit more skill to use versus some of the other ones that's out there, mainly because of the whole entire overheating aspect. But once you figure it out, it can definitely be a lethal weapon. Doesn't matter if it's PvE or PvP, there is still a lot of fun to be had with this firearm. And boom, that is pretty much it. I am actually very happy and glad that I decided to come back and retouch this weapon to see if it changed or not from the PTU to the live build. And it's quite noticeable that there is a huge difference between the two builds. During its testing phases, something had changed with this damage. It's obvious to me because in the PTU, I was just wrecking everything and everyone with this pistol. So, you know, it's okay that there's a change here, but I think they may have knocked it down a little bit too hard. But it may be at a good place, depending on whoever's opinion you want to go off of. Mainly because, you know, there's a lot of weapons in the game, and I know they're trying to balance it between weapon and weapon, and you know, you want to make sure that everything is kind of similar but not too similar, so you can have fun and pick which weapon you want to run with. Now, you should begin farming these pistols, the base version, you know, the base blue one, mainly because we know it's going to happen sooner or later, but they're going to make a different variant of this pistol that you can turn in for Wicklow rewards. So, you know, if you happen to come across them in the wild, make sure you keep them because, you know, you never know what cool one that's going to drop. Maybe with that brand new sniper armor, they're going to have one that matches that armor when Wicklow decides to start accepting these pistols as part of the favor system that you have to turn in so you can get those rewards. But don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Please slap that like button because it really does help push me up in the algorithm so more eyes are able to see me. And if you wish to support the channel financially, I do appreciate everyone who drops supers and become members and stuff like that. You guys are the ones who make it happen. But you guys already know who it is. It is the biggest bird in the verse, FC, aka Fried Chicken. Big Bird out.